Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to a preview video for Game 7 of Civ4 AI Survivor Season number 8. Let's go ahead and take a look at this one, load up the map. This is another one of our game with 6 AI leaders, getting close to the end of the opening round, a little bit more to go here. So here is our Pangea. An interesting map rolled this time. The leaders are kind of in a crescent shape with this portion of the map open. It's pretty jungly, but there is a river that runs through it. And then there's some backlines for the various leaders, but a little bit different than what we've gotten before. Hopefully will be a relatively even map. These maps are never perfectly balanced. In any case, though, let's go through and look at our leaders. Starting as always, we have a 2 seeded leaders for this game, Pool 1 and Pool 2. Our Pool 1 leader for this game is Suryavarman of the Khmer. Has been a consistently strong performer in past seasons of AI Survivor. Very good traits for expanding, expansive, creative. And also one of the AI leaders who has a low piece weight and solid aggression without being too aggressive, if that makes sense. So he's got a floodplain start up here in the northeast corner, has a little bit of backlines territory to work with. I suspect that this will be one of the favorites for this game just based on what we've seen in the past. And we'll see what he can make of this one. Now, our Pool 2 leader, the winner of, I think it was Season 4, Charlemagne of Holy Roman Empire. An interesting leader, a couple different things that make him stand out. One is imperialistic protective traits, actually not that bad for AI Survivor. And the unique building, the Rathaus Courthouse, which is just a better courthouse, is a really nice unique building to have. Biggest problem for Charlemagne is his starting techs are really bad. He has, he's mysticism, and I think he's hunting is his other tech. Am I right on that? Yes, mysticism, hunting. I don't know why I needed to look that up. Not very good. I mean, he will probably found a religion in this game, although he will be competing with Isabella and Montezuma, so it's not guaranteed he gets a religion. But he has a great deal of difficulty because he really can't hook up any food resources at the start of the game. He needs to research agriculture for the corn. He's far away from bronze working. He's far away from pottery. He's, I guess, only 1 tech away from animal husbandry, not that he needs that here. So it's a bit of a mess, and he often gets off to a very slow start. He also has this capital that was really interesting. I did not edit this capital. This is just what the map rolled here. He has a copper resource that's just out of range of his capital, and then he has triple gems that are, again, just out of reach of his capital. Plus he has 4 dyes and 2 ivory tiles. It's just a very weird start. So again, I'm not quite sure what to make of this. Charlemagne did win a season. He is one of our champions, although it was kind of wacky the way he won that season. So there's a lot here, and I'm not quite sure what to make of it, but I think it's going to be kind of interesting to see how he plays out of the start. He also has literally the middle start on the crescent. He's literally right in the middle of everyone. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I don't really know how to predict this. Okay, our unseeded leaders. We have 4 leaders that are not Pool 1, 2, so they're just randomly drawn into this game. First up, we have Elizabeth, who is the only financial leader in this game. She has very good economic traits, philosophical, financial. There is some tension between them. They do kind of pull in different directions, and philosophical is not a great trait for AI Survivor purposes. She has a strong Civ as well. The English Civ is pretty good overall. It has some nice uniques with the red coat and the stock market, or stock exchange, excuse me. And she also has probably the most isolated start on this map. Probably there's a little bit more space here. That said, I do have concern about whether she'll be able to break out of this corner. She could very easily get cut off and get stuck on like 5 or 6 cities. She also has the problem of being the highest piece weight leader in this field. She's very high piece weight in a field that's not especially high. As particularly starting next to Mehmet is probably not great for her. So if she's able to stay out of conflict, if she's able to get a reasonable amount of the map and then stay out of fighting, she does have the best econ traits in this game. So there is the possibility she could outrace the field to space or culture. But she's going to have to survive to get there, and that is always her problem because she ends up getting killed in a lot of these games. All right, next up, another one of the few female leaders in Civilization 4. We have Isabella of Spain, spiritual expansive traits. She does have a seafood resource here, but she does start with fishing tech. She is mysticism fishing, the only leader in the game that starts with mysticism fishing. Izzy's very straightforward. She's going to found a religion, almost certainly. I guess it's not guaranteed because there are 3 leaders that start with mysticism, but she's almost certainly going to found a religion. And then she's going to like whoever has her religion, and she's going to hate whoever does not have her religion. She's a very binary leader in that regard. She's pretty much obsessed with religion, and this has not proven to be a very successful formula in the past in AI Survivor, but she has won a game before. I think she's actually won 2 games, so we'd have to double check on that. Still, she's generally seen as being a fairly ineffective leader, but at least she does have the coastal start with the fish resource, which I think does play to her strengths in this game. Now, amongst the remaining leaders, they are both in the south corner of the map. Over here, we have Mehmed, who is also a former champion. The Season 5 champion, if I remember correctly. I believe he's Season 5. It's interesting because he's only ever won a single game in AI Survivor history. Only one ever, and that was the championship game. He made it there with some second place finishes. So he's only won one game ever, but it was a championship. So he is I guess, the Season 5 champion. He is a leader who I feel like should be good at AI Survivor, but kind of has not been especially good. He's got a great Civ in the Ottomans. They have outstanding starting techs. Agriculture plus the wheel, very good starting techs. And pretty good uniques, the Janissary and the Haman, which is a unique aqueduct. Normally aqueduct's not an especially great building, but the AI spams them everywhere, so they're actually pretty good for the AI. But for whatever reason, he just hasn't been that great. I think he maybe has done a little bit too much fighting and not enough focus on economy. He's one of those leaders who likes to fight. He's pretty militaristic. And for whatever reason, it just hasn't worked. He's kind of disappointed us a lot in the past. He has what I think is a pretty solid starting position here, the double corns, and these are wet corns because they irrigate off the lake. And he's got double animal husbandry tiles as well. So if he actually does hook these up, he's going to have a ton of food and actually pretty good production too. We've got the infamous Plains cow resource, which is a much better resource for the AI than for humans, is one of the things we've been finding over the last couple of years. So I think the potential is here, especially if he's able to eat Elizabeth over here to the left. But we've seen him kind of stall out and spin his wheels without accomplishing things many times as well. So there's potential here. Whether he'll realize it, that's up in the air. All right, and then finally, last but not least, we have one of our favorite leaders in Civilization 4, Monty of the Aztecs. So we have changed to red. We pretty much always change his color to red in these games. Monty is completely crazy. If you've played Civ 4 at all over the last 20 plus years, I'm sure you know this. He's just a complete nut job. He's basically the most aggressive leader in the entire game. He will usually found a religion, and then he'll hate whoever doesn't have his religion, and he will just declare war nonstop and throw himself at people all over the map. He definitely does not bother to build an economy, and he can often get off to a slow start because he actually has the exact same starting text as Charlemagne, Mysticism Hunting, which is not a good starting pair. So Monty is pretty insane. Now, he did win his opening round game last season in Season 7, but when we ran the alternate history for that map, we realized it was like a 1% outcome because he was actually very weak on that map, but he just had like the perfect combination of things come together for him to win a map. He will have the southeast corner of the map to potentially settle, but he is pretty squeezed, although to be fair, everybody is pretty squeezed on this map. It's a very tight map. Where he goes and who he attacks is going to dictate a lot of what happens in this game, because you might think he'd attack Charlemagne because of piece weight differences, and that's probably the most likely outcome, but he could also just hurl himself into Mehmed as well and torpedo both of those games. With Monty, you never quite know. All right, so that's our quick overview here. In terms of scheduling notes, this game will take place a week from when this video is posted. That will be Friday, July the 26th of 2024, so July the 26th, at our standard noon Eastern starting time. We always run a picking contest for these games, which will be linked underneath the description. I'm sure you know that if you're watching this video. So hopefully we will see you there in a week from today on July 26th for Civ 4 AI Survivor, game number 7 of Season 8. Until then, hope everybody's having a great week. Take care, folks, and I'll see you then.